Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today is another day of me trying to explain another Super Mecha Champion Mecha. And today's Mecha is called Doomlight. So, Doomlight is a defense plus turret type of mecha. So, basically speaking, it basically launches turret to the enemies as well as block enemies attack. Okay. Now, when it comes to this mecha, you must need to use at least 20,000 of gold coins in order to actually get this mecha. Which are the gold coins? These are the gold coins. Yeah. So you need to have at least 20,000 of these golds to in order to get Doomlight. Anyway, so let's talk about the Doomlight's ability. It has photon cannon. Okay, it has this photon turret, three of them. It has propulsion capability. Basically speaking, it can jump as well as go up in the sky easily. I mean, stay in the air easily. And this one is called Photon Shield. It is a tactical or a combat skill. Okay. Now, to give a further better demonstration of this mecha, I'll be going to the training ground to actually talk about that. Okay. So, first of all, when it comes to this mecha, let's talk about this mecha's what should I call it? This mecha's modules. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the attack module. The attack module has two things: beam enhancement and rapid pulse. Now, do I understand that I am basically the number one Doomlight player in the PC server? Okay, and I have a total CP point of 10,000 and plus. Okay, about 11,000. So it basically gives me a proper idea of how much efficiently I can use Doomlight on a regular basis. Now, here is the thing: when it comes to a Doomlight attack module, I suggest that you use rapid pulse for faster attacking speed. And if you want to do more damage to the enemy just by hiding, then obviously this beam enhancement is a very good option. But it is very good option. It is a very good option in terms of what should I call it? Okay, let me lower the volume a little bit lower. So it is a very good option in paper, but in actual usage term it is not actually very good, because not many of the mecha will be able to stay near this photon beam. So as a result, it is better to use this flight velocity, which will basically increase the primary weapons attack speed by 18% more. Okay, now when it comes to the defense module I suggest that you use is the area. Why? Because let's say you are trying to hide from the enemy mechas or enemy pilot. Then what will happen is, if you were to increase the overall area of the photon detecting capabilities, then what will happen is you will be able to destroy the enemy mecha by detecting their location. Okay, so obviously from that point of perspective, this is a very good one. Now, even if you were to increase the total durability of the turret, it is not going to be useful, because if the players decide to destroy your turret, it doesn't matter how much durability your turret will have, all of them is going to get destroyed. Okay, now when it comes to the last one, which is ion march and drain shield. Now, in terms of speed, this mecha is actually the slowest mecha in the game. Okay, and because of that reason, if you were to have high propulsion capabilities, this is the propulsion, then obviously you must be thinking, okay, then I might be able to hide a lot faster in this manner. Well, it is not actually correct, it is incorrect. Why? Because you will not be able to go extremely far using this method. Well, let me give you an example. So let's say ion march. Okay, so I'll be marking this area here, and I'll gonna be jumping up. Okay, so it is about 64 meters. Okay, now let me change it to this shield, then shield. Okay, now let's see. Okay, I forgot to increase this fuel by full. Okay, it is about 51 meters. So the amount of speed, okay, you're gonna be getting from this iron merge is almost negligible. So because of that reason, iron merge is not a very good option. But in terms of this shield, if you want your shield to actually block a lot more enemies attack, then obviously this 10 shield is a very best option for you. Okay, now as for the core 1 and core 2, I suggest that you use core 1 if you are in a team deathmatch, or let's say if you are in a battle royale with other players, then use this photon wall, because this photon wall, what it does is basically concentrate where the attack is gonna be going. For example, I'll be putting one missile here and one missile here, okay, and the last one over there. By doing so, what is gonna be happening right now is this one and this one are basically concentrating its power on this one over here, okay, and it is shooting that one over there, okay. So yeah, when it comes to the scatter beam, what will happen is only one of them is gonna be attacking, but at least scatter beam will basically give you the ability to shoot the other mechas within this range here, and will be able to destroy the enemy mecha by doing 180 damage, okay. So that is basically how it goes. Okay, now let's talk about this mecha's long range attack. So how good is this mecha's long range attack? It is not 100% accurate. It has a, what should I call it, it has a accuracy rate of, let's say, about 85 to 90%. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna be shooting that mecha in the middle. Okay, most of the attacks are getting hit, but not all of them. So I would say that it is about 80% accuracy. Okay, and within 30 of these bullets, it will be able to destroy the enemy mecha up to 300 meters away easily. So enemy mechas that are 300 meters away are gonna be also need to be take caution when attacking this Doomlight. Okay, now the secondary attack cannot actually reach there, so I'm not even gonna try. Okay, I already tried that. But when it comes to the mid-range attack, now mid-range attack for me in this case is if the size of the mecha is bigger than the crosshair. As you can see here, the size of the mecha is bigger than the crosshair, then it means it is a mid-range. Now in the mid-range, I suggest that you do the following thing. You shoot with your before shooting, just apply the shield and then shoot the primary and the secondary attack both at the same time. By doing so, what will happen is it will be launching all of its turret and doing turret damage, but also at the same time your enemy mecha is also gonna be taking damage. So yeah, it is a double kill. Now obviously when it comes to close range battle, in close range battle there is a different thing that you must need to be maintaining. In a close range battle, if you are fighting against mecha, you must need to deploy the shield similar to mid range and then shoot. But also at the same time, you must need to stay near the shield, because what will happen is when you are in a close range battle, the enemy will try to go behind the shield, obviously, so you have to stay near the shield. By doing so, the enemy mecha will actually have hard time actually beating you in that regards. Okay, now another thing about this mecha is that when it comes to close range attack, if the enemy mecha is a close range mecha or close range attack type of mecha, then you will be having a hard time. Why? For example, let's say you are suddenly fighting against Arthur, or let's say you are suddenly fighting against these what should I call this, hot steel. Okay, so what is gonna happen is hot steel, when hot steel uses its tactical skill, it can actually break the shield. Okay, it can break the shield, or maybe it can do damage to your mecha. Okay, similar can be said about Arthur as well. Arthur's secondary attack can actually do massive quantity of damage to the enemy mecha. So the question remains is, what can you do? In that case, I suggest that whenever hot steel is approaching you, immediately launch a turret near you. Okay, by doing so, what will happen is the turret is gonna take the primary hit, and then it will stop the dashing capability of hot steel, and hot steel will basically have to stop there, and you can basically immediately attack afterwards. Okay, so that is one of the method that you can use on hot steel as well as Arthur in order to stop their forward launches at you. Okay, now Okay, let's see. Now let's talk about sneak attacks. Okay, now when it comes to the sneak attack of this mecha, there are total three type of sneak attack you can do. One is you have to jump and then shoot all of the turret and then also shoot with the primary weapon. Okay, that this is one of the method. Now another method of sneak attack is, let's say you are behind a certain object. If you are behind a certain object and trying to attack your enemy mecha by surprise, okay, you can use the primary weapon to actually do that. Okay, now you have to shoot from the left side of the building, because it is a left shoulder point of view, not a, sorry, you have to stay on the left side of the building because it is a right shoulder point of view. So in the right shoulder point of view, you have to shoot the enemy mecha in this manner. But if you try to use this secondary attack, the secondary attack is gonna bounce off. Okay, it is gonna bounce backwards. So obviously the secondary attack in this sneak attack is not gonna work. Okay, now finally, last but not least, is attacking from a higher place. So when you are attacking from a higher place, especially in a curvy area such as hills or something, this one is gonna be very useful. Let's say you are gonna try to attack an enemy mecha. So as you can see here, I am trying to shoot the, what should I call that? I forgot that mecha's name. Anyway, the mecha which I am shooting the below, okay, that mecha is getting hit, okay, but also at the same time it is in such a position that if that mecha decides to actually hit me, I can just go back and avoid the attack. But also at the same time, that enemy mecha is also taking damage. So yeah, this is actually a very good positioning that which you can use on this mecha. So three type of sneak attack can be useful on when you are using this mecha. Okay, now let's talk about the overall let's say water level. Okay, now what do I mean by water level? Well, let me give you an example. Let's say for some reason you are going in a map and then suddenly what happens is you must need to cross over a large body of water, especially the sea in Alpha City. What you have to do is when suddenly a hoverboard, or let's say a what should I call this, unicorn shows up, obviously you have to survive, right? How can you do so? You cannot shoot when you are in water. So what you have to do is you have to use the propulsion and then go up. As you go up, you have to shoot and then use the secondary weapon as well. Obviously the secondary weapon, I do not know whether it can do damage to the actual enemies or not, but all I can say that this secondary attack and primary attack while you are in the air is gonna be more than enough to destroy them, but you have to do it at least 2 times to make sure that they can actually die. Okay, otherwise it is not going to be very useful. As you can see here, this is okay, let's see, okay, let's say the water, that is the water level which is about 17 meters. Okay, so as I go up using the propulsion, you can definitely see I am above this water level even by 31 meters. So yeah, you can be above the water level by 31 meters, which is more than enough for you to actually aim and destroy the enemy pilot, or let's say enemy unicorn. Okay, now another thing I forgot to mention is the shield. Now when you use this shield, okay, you have to be careful where you are aiming at. Okay, because here's the thing, I have aimed here, which is a level area, which is why the shield is exactly in place. But if I were to do the shield here, then what will happen is the shield will go up. See, so what it basically means that this is a bug and this bug is not fixed yet, which is why whenever the surface level of something is a little bit higher, it basically makes this shield go up and puts a little bit space below. And the enemy mecha, if were to be shooting this Doomlight feet, then obviously Doomlight is going to be taking damage. So that is another thing that you must need to consider. Okay, now obviously when it comes to this shield is gonna get destroyed easily if the enemy mecha is a gun type of mecha. Okay, that is an important thing you have to understand, because the bullet in these mechas are the bullet in this uh, the mecha that has bullet shooting capabilities in this game, they shoot so fast that this shield can be get destroyed easily or very fast. So you have to be careful of that. Obviously it still takes about 3 to 4 seconds to actually get this right. uh, s- and another thing about this shield is certain attack can actually go through this shield. Okay, now which are the attack? This Doomlight on turret can actually attack you even from the shield. So if you are facing against another Doomlight, you have to be careful. That is point number one. And point number two is there are two mechas, okay, that Gabriel as well as the Gabriel's primary attack and Alborada's secondary attack can go through. Skylark's secondary attack can also go through, and Firestar's secondary attack, which is fire attack, can also penetrate the Doomlight shield. So you have to be careful against these five mecha. These mechas itself, and uh, Gabriel, Alborada, Firestar, as well as Skylark. These are the problematic one for this mecha. Okay. Other than that, rest of the other mechas are very easy to get if you understand their pattern. Then obviously you'll be able to get away from their attack. Okay. Now, obviously, with all that said, there is another method which I have learned, especially in a team deathmatch. So in team deathmatch, if you are facing against another mecha which can hover like this, then there is a very good option in how you hover. Okay, let's say this is the marking point. Okay, so what I am gonna do is I'll be starting from here, okay, here, and then I'll be moving in the air from this direction in this manner. Okay, why you should be doing that? Because if the enemy mechas get behind you, obviously they can shoot you and you will not be able to shoot them back. So you have to be careful of that pattern. So what I do is when I go up, I I use my mouse direction as well as the keyboard direction to make sure that I go up spirally. Okay, if I were to go up spirally, then obviously the enemy mecha will have a hard time trying to hit me back. But if I just go up, then obviously it is not gonna be useful because they will eventually go back behind me and will be able to destroy me. Okay. Now, with all of this said and done, let's go to the lobby to actually talk about more. Okay, now in the lobby, let's go to this section here and actually talk about the mods. Now, obviously, you can use your own type of mods, but this is my favorite type of mod. Okay, so I have given this mecha 1, 2, 3, and this one, which makes it 4. So I have given this mecha 4 reload rate, which is total of 12% of reload rate. So basically speaking, whatever the reloading time is, it is now 10%, sorry, 12% lower. And you can lower this by 32% if you were to have Cyrus secondary skill. Okay, sorry, Cyrus's mecha skill. And as for the combat skill recovery, if you want to do a lot more combat skill recovery, then if you were to have these two, okay, and then use ROM capability, then you will be getting 7.2% of combat skill recovery. In doing so, you will be able to deploy the shield a lot more often. Okay, now others are basically side effect of what is gonna be good or bad. For example, enemy makers that are 150 meters away will receive 1.5% more damage. That is as additional. The secondary weapon recovery is additional. It is not actually good enough. What do I mean by that? Well, for those of you who actually understand math, you do know that 12% is a lot better compared to 1.8%, right? So from that point of perspective, obviously these are better option. Okay, now those are basically the mods. My favorite mecha mods is especially for Doomlight. Now, when it comes to the pilot skill, not all of the pilot skill are actually good. Okay, so I'll be saying either best, good, or bad. Okay, best means best, good means not the best, but it is good enough to use, and bad means not good enough. Okay, so Ning's capability is Hive infrastructure. It is good, but not the best because it basically increases the durability but cannot maintain it. Okay, this is the best because using the shield will basically using Doomlight shield a lot more often obviously is a good thing. So from that point of perspective, this is the best one. This is a good one because Doomlight will be able to fly in the sky for a longer period of time, but obviously the Doomlight cannot protect itself. Now this is another best one in terms of turning the durability into shield durability. Okay, so that is a good, sorry, not good, best one. Okay, now this one is best in battle royale, but in a team deathmatch this one is bad. Okay, so in a battle royale you will not be needing to use any materials to regain any of the durability. The durability will restore by on its own. So from that point of perspective, this is the best one in battle royale. Okay, this one is good in team deathmatch. Now, what do I mean by good is you have to lose at least 90% of the mecha durability to get about 13.5% of total damage output. So it is not actually good enough. And the best one, I'll eventually talk about that. Now this one is a bad one because this one doesn't apply to Doomlight because let's say there is Arthur which can paralyze, or let's say there is Firestar which can maintain the fire buff for a higher duration. Obviously it is gonna work for those mechas. This one is not good for Doomlight. Okay, now this one is bad for every mecha, so obviously I'm not gonna even talk about this, except that it has three flaws. The flaws number one is movement speed will only increase by 3 seconds. One negative. Second negative is it can be used once every 7 seconds. That is the second negative. And the third negative point about this is you must need to hit the enemy pilot or mecha using the secondary weapon. So yeah, this is a very bad one. This one is not usable for any mecha. Now, this is the same as Ning capability, which is make this good but not the best. This one is best if you want to uh, maintain your shield durability as much as possible. Okay. Now this one is best because of maintaining shield durability. Now this one is good in terms of doing primary damage, doing damage with primary weapon, but it is only gonna be useful at the beginning part of the game. So whether you are in a battle royale or in a team deathmatch, it will only work good when you are 150 meters away. And in a battle royale at the end of the match, this one is gonna be useless because the enemy mecha will be near you. So obviously this one is a good option but not the best. This one is the best option for reload. So if you want to do reload a lot more often, obviously Cyrus's reload capability is the best. Now, if you want to do higher recovery rate using the recovery item, then obviously this is a good one. Not the best because you must need to have the recovery item, and if you somehow are out of recovery items, obviously you have to be careful. So from that point of perspective, this is a good one, but not the best. Now this one is similar to this problem here. The problem is that if you want to use lightning mantra, the problem is you have to be near the enemy, which will be happening most of the time in battle royale in the end part of the game. Okay, but at the beginning part of the game it is not going to be useful because Doomlight is a slow mecha, and yeah, every time Doomlight uses his shield, obviously it can do lightning mantra damage on the enemy, but the enemy must need to be extremely close, and it can only be happen in battle royale end part of the game. So obviously from that point of perspective it is a good one but not the best. Okay, now this is the best one in terms of doing damage. So in terms of doing damage, if you were to use the secondary attack immediately for 7 seconds, the primary weapon will become 22% of damage dealing. Okay, for 7 seconds, and it has a cooldown of 9 seconds. So what will happen is, let's say during the cooldown you use Doomlight's tactical skill and the shield is up, and after that the shield is gonna stay active for about 8 seconds. So right after using the shield you will be able to use this uh secondary attack again, and then the primary weapons damage is gonna increase by 22% again. So from that point of perspective, this is actually a very good one. Okay, not very good, the best one. Okay, now this one is a good one, and this one is useful on Doomlight, because Doomlight will be able to stay in the air for a longer period of time, even at 20 meters, but the damage overall is not as high as Norma's capability. Okay, now this one is good, similar to this one, but you must not attack the enemy for 4.5 seconds to make the attack overall damage percentage about 8 seconds. So yeah, from all of this point of view, all I'm gonna say is the best one for Doomlight is ROM, tactical skill cooldown, Yori's durability recovery, Vita's shield durability recovery, Norma's overall damage output, Ivan's turning the normal durability to shield durability, and overall Cyrus's capability of turning, Cyrus's capability of using reload as fast as possible. Okay, now obviously different people will have different preference, but for my case I am trying to use Norma's 22% of attack, which is why I have Norma, but I am planning on using this chain electroshock on Vita. By doing so, what will happen is Vita will be useful when she is not in pilot mode, when she is not in mecha mode. When in pilot mode, she will be able to use this mecha hunter, which I have maxed out. Okay, and also at the same time, if this were to be used, then obviously every time Doomlight shoots, Doomlight is gonna be doing about 22% of overall total damage. So yeah, this is overall my best combination. So anyway, if you find this video useful about Doomlight, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icon in order to get more of this type of content on a regular basis. And the next mecha which I'll be talking about in alphabetical order next time, that is gonna be Flamingo. Yeah, so yeah, stay tuned and see you again next time. And it seems like everything has gotten a little bit brighter. I think the background has gotten a bit brighter, I guess. Oh. So anyway, goodbye and stay safe, and see you again next time.